Hello. I'm live, but I'm late. I know. But not as late as I was for the Bengals Bills game. It was another Bills game that I was absorbed in just a couple minutes ago. We played the Eagles and let a lead slip away. Seems to be par for the course in the NFL nowadays. So, I finally made it though. Got some pizza scarf down, and I am ready to listen and watch the Ravens Chargers game for your viewing pleasure. For some reason, there is no Chris Collinsworth on this broadcast. We have Jason Garrett. And be interesting to see how the Chargers do. They really need this win, but they're going up against one of the best of the AFC. Justin Tucker's going to kick it off for the Ravens, starting off. But guessing it'll be a touchback, given how Tucker can boom it. And yes, no surprise there, as we have the Chargers offense. University of Sioux Falls, is that a thing? I gotta look this up on Wikipedia. Quite a few non-power conference 1A players for the Chargers. Oh, by the way, that was a run for 2 yards. Apparently, there is a University of Sioux Falls. There's another carry that was short in yardage. Another Division II university, although it's only been recent. Herbert's back to pass in the meantime, and he throws, and he's got wide open Gerald Everett. And he does the Usain Bolt thing in celebration, although I'd save that for when you score a touchdown. Oh my. Threw that just in time as he got knocked to his block. So it got to the Ravens 39. It was a gain of 31. Eckler's in the backfield with Herbert. Herbert's in the shotgun. And he's back to pass again. And he gets it to Eckler. And he gets about 4. And we now have the Ravens defense. Is there a Brigham University? Getting a lot of these colleges I've never even heard of. There's a Brigham Young, I know. I gotta go back to Wikipedia again. Ugh. In the meantime, that run was for 5. It's now third in inches. Herbert's going behind the center now, and he hands it off right to Eckler. And he gets the first down easily after running to the outside. Yeah, probably misspeak. So, never mind. So they get the first down. Herbert's in shotgun with Kelly in the backfield this time. And Herbert gets it off quickly to Keenan Allen. Let's see if they get it. No, they're going to rule it short of a first down. He got it 9.5. And Herbert's already got a scab on his elbow. Not even 5 minutes gone by in the quarter, and he's bleeding profusely. I hope they take a look at that, because typically you'd have to stop. Yeah, he's looking at it. He'd be strangely fortunate if he's not forced by the refs to get out of the game, because that's typically automatic. And he hands it off to Davis. He gets about a 1.5. Because ever since the AIDS crisis, they've been really serious about cracking down on people when they're bleeding in the field of play. That you get off the sideline and get that attended to. I remember what happened with Steve Nash in the playoffs against the Spurs. What a disaster that was. Herbert, in the meantime, is trying to run. Oh, he gets nailed off the sideline, and there's no flag. Oh, now we got a kerfluffle, and we got a flag that flies. I've got a crawl space on my TV selling us to tell DirecTV to keep KGW on the air, the NBC affiliate here in Portland. Herbert did a good job of being cool about it. And they call at the end of the play one of the Chargers linemen for unnecessary roughness. And Staley's hot. And he's got that furrow brow look on his face. Boy, the Chargers really got screwed on this. So it's 3rd and 19 on the 21. And he just throws it to the ground to avoid another collision with the Ravens D. Sawyer was the guilty party. Oh, we're really getting some ref screw-ups here. And both coaches are really going nuts. And in the parlance of my fellow vloggers, ref ball is in action. Not in a good way. Hey, y'all, thanks for joining me. The Chargers are hoping to get 3 points out of their first drive. As Cameron Dicker gets the kick to go through the uprights. Herbert still doesn't have a Band-Aid for that gaping wound in his elbow on the right. But the Chargers, for the moment, have the lead. And I gotta finish up my pizza. Sausage. I give you cheer number 2. To those of you who are just joining during the commercial break, you're gonna see me eat. Ugh. Ciao. That's ciao as in food, not ciao as in the Italian version of goodbye. Really hate to rush through this. But I am not a fan of cold pizza. Signs of the Hollywood Bowl. Chargers are ready to kick it off. And it's, as usual, a touchback. They're introducing the Ravens offense. Odell Beckham Jr.'s in, along with Lamar Jackson. There's already a timeout. And the Chargers are calling it. What the hell, man? 12 men on the field. Not a good way to start the game. Okay. Now we got Gus Edwards running up the middle for 5 for the Ravens. And then it's Lamar Jackson doing his version of the quarterback sneak. Excuse me. He easily gets the first down. Almost a botched attempt at an end around with the receiver. Now Jackson back to pass in earnest, and he gets it to OBJ. Just short of a first down. Defender slipped trying to cover him, so it was an easy catch. Mitchell is the one carrying the ball this time. So first down at the Ravens 49. Jackson's in the shotgun with 5 receivers out there, and he passes it. Flowers with the catch. Ex-Raider and Jaguar. Laird, who had slipped earlier trying to tackle OBJ, gets a solid one in there this time. 2nd down and 7. Ravens now are in Chargers territory. Jackson's now under center with the fullback in motion. And Mitchell only gets to the line of scrimmage, and there was a pad that came flying out. Who knows who it was for? We'll have to see, for courtesy of replay. Now 3rd and 7. Oh, yeah, Andrews is out. Mark Andrews, the all-pro tight end for the Ravens. Jackson's back to pass, and he's in trouble, and couldn't get it to his receiver. So the Ravens are going to punt. So after a bad start for the Chargers on this offensive play, on this offensive drive for the Ravens, they're able to hold them. And Stout's going to punt it. Davis is back on the return squad. He calls for a fair catch. It hit him on the foot, but fortunately, it went out of bounds. A bit of interference by number 43, but ref said no harm, no foul. Oh, it didn't hit him. It hit directly out of bounds as we had the reverse angle. Nice to know. Very fortunate for the Chargers. That didn't go against them. Another example of ref ball. Swallowing your whistle. Sorry, I gotta step out for a minute. Ugh. Okay. Battery's down to 51%. Yeah, I think I should put my plug in. Ugh. Come on. There we go. Oh. Chargers back on offense at the 11. Herbert fakes the handoff, and he's off to run again. And he gets about 5. And he does have his right elbow covered this time. Second and 5 now. Herbert hands it off to Kelly, who gets 2.5. His quarters moved really quick. Oh, hey, we got 3 people watching. How you doing? You feel free to chat if you want to. Let's see if the Chargers can get another first down. They got a long way to go to be able to try and get back into scoring position. Herbert's in shotgun, now back to pass, gets it to Allen, and this is going to be close. And it's right on the first down marker. And they say first down. Keenan Allen getting it. We're now under 4 minutes left in the quarter. Good break for them this time. You never know how that's going to turn out. Okay, Herbert's back to pass again. And now he's under pressure again. And he's going to run again. Don't know if he gained anything. And Herbert's still having issues with the left middle finger. I know how he feels. I had my left middle finger slammed into a locker door once. And so apparently Herbert gained 2 yards on that, but they just lost it because the Ravens, number 14, tackled Davis. And that was Hamilton on the tackle. Back to the original line of scrimmage. So back to third. So now back to 10 yards to go. Herbert back to pass again. He's going way deep and still under pressure, but he gets it off and incomplete, almost intercepted by Jalen Guyton. And Lamar Jackson, after tousling his dreadlocked hair, so Scott with the punt. Duvernay's back to do a potential return, but no, he has the fair catch up at the 21. Christopher Cross is sailing. Well, it's not far down to paradise. At least it's not for me. And if the wind is right, you can sail away and find tranquility. Oh, the canvas can do miracles. Just you wait and see. Believe me. I know that's considered these days yacht rock, but I loved that song when I was growing up. I say it unapologetically. No guilty pleasures here. In the meantime, all that pizza's making me dozy. That's even a word. John Cryer's back on TV. He's completely bald. Interesting look. They're going over Jackson's injury history late in the season twice in a row. Jackson's back to pass out of the shotgun. Gets the ball out to Lively. But there's a flag on the play as we're under 2 minutes in the quarter. And the referee says holding on the offense. And hello, if you're just tuning in, the Chargers are up 3-0. And Edwards put a chokehold on Khalil Mack on that pass. It's now 1st and 20 on the Ravens 12 now. Jackson back to pass, and they do a running back screen, or wide receiver screen, excuse me. That's likely not Lively. It's an interesting football. That and Chris Gainwell of the Eagles. Likely to make a good chunk of yardage as he did there. So now it's 2nd and 2. Ball's just short of the 30. Jackson's in the shotgun. And it's a give off to Edwards. And he gets the first down. And the clock is winding down, but there should be time for one more play before the quarter ends. And we're waiting. Okay, Jackson in the shotgun. Edwards is to his right. Clock's winding down. But he gets the pass off to OBJ. He gets a first down, and that brings in another quarter. And the Chargers are still up 3-0. And we go to commercial. Oh! Hello, Kylie. Thanks for the chat. And yes, I know, Josh Allen is now 0-6 in overtime. I don't know how much of it is necessarily his fault, like that Eagles game, which I managed to see the end of. I mean, talk about a barn burner. I was listening to Grossi do it while I was watching, alternatively, the Browns, Broncos, and the Chiefs, Raiders. Hello to you and yours. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. I don't really have a rooting interest in this game. I was kind of hoping for the Bills just because underdog stuff. You can't help but like that. Although the Bills probably shouldn't be that much of an underdog given how well they played the past couple of years. And they almost had it. But the Eagles showed why they're the best team in the league from a record standpoint, even though they've struggled at times. But Hurts hurt the Bills with his arm and his feet and his mind. So feel free to chat away with whatever's on your mind, and I'll try and keep an eye on it. Now I'm really going to be paying attention to that chat bar. One time, I was busy looking up stuff elsewhere. Didn't see that someone had actually appeared in the chat room until it was too late. But he was a Lakers fan, so not that big a loss. I grew up in Phoenix, so I'm not much on the LA teams. I rooted for the Chargers when they were in San Diego, before Arizona had a team during the Dan Fouts era. And still hard to get used to them being an LA team, considering when they started in the AFL, they only lasted 1 year in LA. And there's Joey Bosa, another injury casualty out for the Chargers. And he's eating some Chips Ahoy out of a cereal, one of those ready to eat cereal plastic bowls. In the meantime, Mitchell gets a pass from Jackson and gains a first down in the process. Another undrafted free agent who has made the league. There are a lot of them lately. You know, when you look up the history of teams on Wikipedia, at one point there were 30 rounds in the draft. But that was when there was only a dozen teams. In the meantime, OBJ gets another pass from Jackson, and it's another first down. So 7 rounds for 32 teams, and you can include supplemental draft picks in that. It's probably the same amount of players being drafted. And yet undrafted free agents tend to sneak in somehow. Jackson's now in the shotgun. Mitchell's behind him. And fake handoff to Mitchell, and Jackson tries to run it on his own, but he only gets about a yard, if anything. Oh, thank you, Kylie. I appreciate you. I wonder how long you hung around while I was scrolling through a bunch of other sports sites. And was it the first Grassy raid or the second? In the first Grassy raid, I was wearing my Kitty Goes Meow t-shirt. The second one, I was wearing this. And even though the Cardinals have been stinking up the joint since they moved to the Valley of the Sun, hey, you got to support your home teams. And Jackson threw a pass that was incomplete. Bateman let it bounce off his chest. So it's now 3rd and 9. Well, Kylie, thanks for chatting me up again. And I don't know if you've got a rooting interest in this game. So Hill's now in the backfield. Jackson's going to be in shotgun. And the Chargers fans appear to be shouting out loud. And Bateman manages to atone for his drop and get the first down. Nice catch. He had to reach for that one. And now some confusion about who's supposed to line up where. Jackson's back in shotgun again. Hands it off to Hill. And he gets a significant gain. At least they have more than one win, yeah. Would have liked them to have more than 2, but the Rams really did a number on them today. But again, the Cardinals had a lead. In the meantime, Hill is running and gets another first down. And it'll be 1st and goal at about the 1 or 2. Kylie, what's your team? Or anyone else who's just joined in, what's your team you root for? I'll try not to judge. 10 plays, 75 yards, over 5.5 minutes. Oh, Bills, baby. It had to be tough for you today, then. Well, at least your team's been to more than one Super Bowl. Still four teams in the NFL that haven't made it yet: Browns, Texans, Jaguars, and Lions. Although all of those teams actually have winning records this year at the moment. So it'd be nice to see if one of them got in there, or two of them, since the Lions are the only NFC entrant to not make the Super Bowl. They were a powerhouse team in the 50s and early 60s. Now we have a handoff, but the Chargers snuffed that out this time. So Hill's initial run to get the first and goal ended at the 3, and that's where it will stay. Oh, Carly, if you don't mind mentioning where you're at this point, you don't have to give the exact street address, just a general view of the city. It gives me one more thing to talk about, especially during the commercials. And Jackson under center, back to pass, and he's got a wide open Flowers. Oh, they're doing the bouquet toss. So, Ravens are now up. Is this a different Zay Flowers? They're saying he's a rookie. There was one that was playing for the Raiders and the Jags. Well, we'll get that cleared up in a minute. And guess what? A game on the kick. Not that it's going to matter that much when Tucker's doing the kicking. Man, I'd be losing my mind. But Harbaugh just merely looks chagrined. So 5-yard penalty. It's going to be a 38-yard extra point, and it's still good. So I got to look up NFL.com and see how many Zay Flowers there are as they do the wedding theme as the outro on NBC. I am listening on my headphones because I like to listen to the commentators. I'm not one of those haters who gets off on pillorying the broadcast people. So excuse me while I go do some looking. Excuse me. Do I get a search option in this NFL site anymore? Maybe maybe if I hit the players. Come on. Be good to daddy. Oh, in South Dakota, 2 hours away from Sioux Falls. You know, one of the Chargers linemen is from the University of Sioux Falls, which I never even heard of until he announced it. It was the last guy on the Chargers team, the right tackle. Uh, we're going to search by player name as we go. Oh, only one result. Let's just do Flowers. Okay, 5 results. 2 Treys, a Malik, and a Dallas. Maybe it was Trey Flowers. No, he's a cornerback. So, gotta go to Wikipedia again. Oh, maybe it was Zay Jones. Oh, well, what the hell. Tucker kicks it off. Oh, and we're actually going to return. Merciful God in heaven above. And Davis, unfortunately, barely gets to the 20. I actually get excited now when kickoff returns happen. uh, yeah, it was Zay Jones I was thinking of, not Flowers. Oh, you went to D.C. 2 weeks ago for your cousin's wedding. I did that once going to Houston. First time I'd ever been to that city. Oh, and I lived in D.C. for a couple of years, although it was more like the D.C. suburbs. This was during the waning years of the Marion I Love Smoking Crack Berry decades when he was the mayor there. Somehow got reelected despite that fact. In the meantime, Herbert got sacked as I turned my attention back to the game. But yeah, I lived in Kensington, Maryland, and then Arlington and Alexandria, Virginia, and also Falls Church. Herbert's back to pass, and he sends it off. And number 15 was the intended receiver, who was double teamed. It's now 3rd and 17. Okay. The Chargers cannot afford to not get this first down. And now he's going to do a screen to Kelly, and he's not going to get much. The linemen whiffed on their blocking schemes, and he only got maybe 5. Let's see. So Hamilton of the Ravens playing really well tonight. We've got Stout doing the punt. Duvernay takes it and tries to run, but he gets immediately preyed upon by the Chargers, number 57. We're under 9 minutes to go in the half now. Ooh, Hall and Oates on the outro. I don't know how old any of you people are who are watching me stream this, but I'm old enough to remember the 80s and Hall and Oates. And Hall is suing Oates for breach of contract. They've been pretty much together for a long time, since the early 70s. And now this is a upsetting development. At any rate, Kylie, the DC suburbs were really nice when I lived there. I met my ex there when I was working in Vienna doing phone surveys, trying to find out if people still smoked cigarettes, that is. The legal kind, that is. At the time, that is. The nicotine variety. And she became my ex for a reason. I hope you had fun at the wedding. Let's see. I'm not quite used to this YouTube studio thing. NYC is where your mother was from. Never been there myself. The closest I've gotten in the Northeast was Philly. I did a contracting assignment there for 6 months. Somebody was mentioning in chat in that Gracia's Bills Eagles game. If you live in the Old Town area, it's pretty nice. I lived in the museum district, which was also very nice. Right next to where the Rocky Steps were for the Museum of Art, and I did the run up them. My ex took pictures of me doing it. She did the run too. But enough of this chitter chat. Jackson's in shotgun, and he takes the shovel and gets it to Bateman, and we got a flag as he was tackled. Somehow I think it's going to be along the lines of somebody put their hands where there shouldn't have been. Illegal block in the back on the offense, 79, Stanley. Yep. The flag came out kind of late. I thought maybe it might have been a face mask on the defense. So it'll be 1st and 20. Ugh. Jackson's in the shotgun again. Mitchell's to his right. And fake pitch again. And Jackson takes it himself. Gets it to the 37. Oh, no wonder they did the throwing of the bouquet. His last name, Flowers. Duh. Jackson's in the shotgun again. Back to pass again. Gets it off to Likely. And makes some nice moves. Just short of the first down, though. It'll be 3rd down. Did a little shake and bake there. And we have a handoff to Mitchell on 3rd, and looks like he got it, though the Chargers did their best to try and push him back. And we're halfway through the second quarter. Apparently, Jackson didn't think much of Flowers' celebration. Well, to the two of you who are still sticking with me, I appreciate you being here. Jackson's back to pass yet again, gets it to Likely again, who gets by the defense again and is just short of the first down again. So I guess he's the tight end in replacement of Andrews. Although he doesn't look like a tight end. He's doesn't have that stout look tight ends usually have. Kind of a tweener between a receiver and a tight end. Jackson's back in shotgun. Edwards is with him in the backfield this time. And a throw to Bateman after another fake handoff. Jackson had to do a little hitch / pump fake to get it under his. Has to get it under the Chargers defender. So, 1st and 10. It's at the Chargers 36. Another fake handoff. Jackson's in trouble, though, but he gets out of it. And, the way he acted initially, I thought he was hurt again. But he's just frustrated. He couldn't get past the defense. He slipped on that artificial turf. And if you're a Ravens fan, I imagine you're holding your breath every time he goes down awkwardly. 2nd and 3 now at the 29.5 of the Chargers. Another fake handoff and tried to get it to OBJ, but it's incomplete. So 3rd down. So with no Joey Bosa, sacks will be hard to come by. They got to get their mitts on him when they get the chance. Jackson back to pass, but now we have a bunch of whistles. Apparently, Baltimore called a timeout. And Jackson's wondering, what the heck's going on? So what do you think of... Does anybody know why Collinsworth isn't in the booth and it's Jason Garrett instead? Really, I want to know. I actually like Collinsworth. Orange is my favorite color, so I became a fan of the Bengals in the early 80s, especially after they got those cool-looking stripe uniforms. So, Jackson in shotgun, awaiting the snap. As the play clock winds down, now he's back to pass. Oh, he's Mac. Oh, it's a bunch of. It's getting chaotic here, and so to summarize what I was trying to get out of my mouth, Jackson tripped as he was heading back to pass. Mac almost sacked him, and then a bunch of other Chargers tried to get after him, but he eluded them all. And close to getting the first down. So whatever happened, they're going to run the offense. Oh, it's fourth down, and they do a wildcat handoff to Edwards, and I don't think he got it. No. Oh, my. Big stop for the Chargers there. Gus, the bus had his engine broken. So Murray was the initial one to get his mitts on Edwards, and then half his teammates came after him. So 4:13 left. We have a turnover on downs. Again, when you've got an automatic field goal kicker, you take a chance and you pay the price as a result. Not a fan. But I really don't care for the Ravens, so oh well, what the hell, as they used to say in Catch 22. So we got a commercial break. Santa's eating a freezy at Wendy's. And if you want to talk to me, go ahead. You know, when it comes to liking teams, I like the Redskins too at one point, Kylie. Because when I like the Broncos too. There were a lot of teams I liked more than I disliked, and I disliked Dallas with a passion for beating my Broncos in Super Bowl 8. So when the Redskins beat them to get to their second Super Bowl in the Joe Theismann era, I used this punch. Of course, learning about the background of the name, the nickname that is. Ultimately, glad they changed it. Although they made quite a mess of it first. Well, both times between the football team and the Commanders. Neither of them are copyrightable for them. So they may have to change it again. Okay, we're back to the action. Let's see if the Chargers can take advantage of this turnover. They're at their own 27. Herbert's under center. And he pitches it to Eckler, who gets about 3. Four minutes left. Second and 7. Hurts empty back. And he gets it off to Allen. Oh, did he fumble? Oh, they're saying catch, fumble, and the Ravens recover. Oh. And guess who recovered it? Another ex-Cardinal. Smith jostled the ball out of Allen's grasp. Oh, Urban was the one who recovered it. So it looks like it's under review, although they haven't said anything about it. So apparently the broadcasters in the booth are getting word that it was indeed a fumble recovered by the Ravens at the 30 for the Chargers. And Jackson hands it off to Mitchell. And he got a first down in the process. Oh, nope, it's second down. So he just missed it. Mitchell's in the backfield with Jackson, and we got movement as a bunch of Jade's headbands are all over the field, and they're having a talk about it. And the referee says, neutral zone infraction on 98 on the defense. So they got a free first down out of it. So, no way you could make that type of mistake. But at any rate, Jackson's in shotgun again. Hands it off to Duvernay on the end around, and he gets nothing. And lost a shoe in the process, or had a shoe stolen from him off of his feet. Well, we're almost to the 2-minute warning, but it looks like the Ravens are going to try and get a playoff. Or are they? Nope. Game's gone by pretty fast. Okay. Commercial time out. Let's see. Yeah. I didn't have a TV at the time, so I was watching Rossi's call of the Bengals Bills game when Hamlin collapsed. Initially didn't seem serious, and then it got very serious. But that game afterwards, I wish I could have seen that live. Oh yeah, and Hines is on IR if I'm not mistaken. Another bad luck injury for a key cog on their team. I got my TV off of my ex-neighbor who was in the process of being evicted. He needed the money, so he was willing to part with his Amazon Fire TV, which is very nice. But it's taken a bit to get used to. There are no channel numbers on the remote, so you gotta and I can't figure out the way to go back to the previous channel on this remote because there's no manual for it. Oh. It's good to have those sports related memories, though. I don't know how many games any of you have been to live before the Cardinals moved to the Put Your Corporate Logo Here Stadium in Glendale. I saw them at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe. I believe I was able to see about a half dozen games there. In the meantime, Jackson is sacked, and Mac does the sack attack. So coming out of the 2-minute warning, Jackson was back to pass, and he got behind 2 blockers, and Jackson ran into his own lineman and got obscured, and that allowed Mac to get him in the back. And now Jackson's in trouble again, and he decides to dump it. And I think he may have gotten hit for intentional grounding. One of the moving to the offense, that is. But they're indicating it is ineligible downfield. So either way, it's bad news for Ravens. If it had been intentional grounding, that would have moved them way back. Way back. Who was the guy in Japan you raided? I was watching him raid people. Did I miss that? Oh, Tucker gets the field goal with 1:12 left in the half. And the Axel F theme plays as the outro. How appropriate for the Beverly Hills Cop movie. He rated Cintron. He rated that whacked out Bills fan whose son was not impressed. And then there was that blasé father and son duo who didn't initially recognize they were being raided. Was there a 4th raid? And was that the guy in Japan? Inquiring minds want to know. And speaking of Japan, apparently there's a show focusing on it from Netflix. Ooh, Samurai. Shogun. The remake of the Richard Chamberlain classic miniseries. What timing. Oh, Kylie, I can't help but be curious as well. Let's see. I don't know if you grew up with your mom in. Oh, Cintron. Okay. Okay. Did you become a Bills fan when you were living in NYC? And why not the Jets or Giants? I don't know how old you are. I've been told that's a rude thing to ask of women. But if you don't mind saying that voluntarily, that's cool. We're back to the action, and we'll see if the Chargers can do anything. They've only got one time out. Tucker, in the meantime, kicks it off. It's a touchback. You know, considering they still allow punt returns, why don't they make it easier for kickoff returns? They should be kicking it off from the 30. They still might get a bunch of touchbacks out of them, but there'd be less chance of them. In the meantime, enough of my ranting. Herbert's back to pass, and he gets it to Allen. It's 2nd and 5. He didn't fumble it this time. Under a minute now. Herbert gets it to Allen again, but he can't stay in bounds. 45, 43, 42, 41, 40. Herbert back to pass again. And he gets it to Eckler, but he's in the middle of the field. Oh, and he fumbled too! Oh, no! Ravens got it again! Ay, 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 ay. We were born when she moved to South Dakota. Okay. So I'm still curious how you end up becoming a Bills fan. And there's no doubt about this one. Queen punches it loose, and Pierce recovers it. Ugh. Now, Baltimore has 2 timeouts, and they're in Ravens territory. There are only 26 seconds left. This will be interesting to see if they can take advantage of this. And another missed illegal motion on the offensive line. The pass was incomplete. Chargers were tied for fewest turnovers in the NFL before this game with only 8. Now they have 2 in less than 5 minutes. 2nd down, Jackson back to pass, and he gets it to Likely, who is out of bounds. So that stops the clock. Only 16 seconds left. 3rd down and 6. Jackson's back in shotgun again. Takes the handoff. Oh, he lost the ball now. But the Ravens get it back. 3 fumbles in the last 5 minutes. Oh, come on. Have Tucker kick it. Let's see if he can break his own record. That was Khalil Mack who forced the fumble. It counts as a sack for Mack. Hmm. So they're acting like they're gonna go for it. I almost did it again. The Los Angeles Chargers call a timeout. Oh, okay, Kylie. Yeah, it's sensible you'd be a Vikings fan. I think that's the closest team to you in Minneapolis. Yeah, Josh Allen's from Wyoming, so you might have been able to see him in his college days. Because Laramie's on the east end of the state, if I recall. Yeah, Bills players and the Mafia are very charitable people. Okay, so let's see what Jackson's going to do. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and try and pass it. Nope, incomplete. Oh, so that was in the Ravens territory. So Herbert has a chance to do a Hail Mary. I I don't understand what goes with the. Oh, you went to a Twins game once. That's cool. I can count on both hands the number of baseball games I've been to in Major League. I've been fortunate to live in mainly metropolitan areas. So Herbert's back to pass, and the Ravens are going to blitz him, but he gets off the pass, and it's picked off. So Jackson's still healthy at the half. As Melissa Stark talks to Mr. Harbaugh. I got to see a game at Wrigley Field. Unfortunately, the Cubs lost that one. It was during the Don Baylor years when they had just gotten Fred McGriff to try and back up Sammy Sosa in the lineup. And that game against the Braves, McGriff did his part. He hit a 2-run homer when they walked Sosa, but the Braves still managed to win the game. That was when the Cubs were competitive. Okay, yeah, you go ahead and raid with the Grossi Posse. Figures I'll probably stay here and he won't raid me. Every time he's tried to raid me, I've been busy watching other things. So it's halftime. And let's see. I'll probably just go ahead and open up my email time again. So to recap the action from earlier today, Bengals tried, but they couldn't beat the Steelers, who seem to be rejuvenated after firing their OC. Atlanta beat New Orleans, so again we have all losing teams in the NFC South. Jacksonville survived the Texans, who tried to tie it but wound up with a doink for a final second field goal attempt. Indianapolis beat Tampa Bay, further cementing the NFC South's putrid reputation. The Giants have actually won 2 in a row, though they've come against very bad teams. But they're still in the playoff hunt, amazingly enough. And Tennessee beat Carolina, although barely. Okay. You're back. That's nice. Okay, I hope the raids were successful. I was just busy checking out my email. I'm still checking my email. Let's see. Let's duplicate. No, I don't want to do that. Let's just go to. Well, Kylie, I imagine you don't have any issues with going to YouTube sites. Seems they're really cracking down on ad blockers. And as a result, I'm having trouble seeing anything. Really annoying. I got rid of you block origin, but it still thinks I'm using an ad blocker. If they're trying to keep me from being addicted to their channel, they're doing a really good job of it. So I'll have to go incognito from now on. Well, the Chargers' first half TD streak is over. Ravens' defense is being their usual good self. And the Chargers are about to kick off. And naturally, it's a touchback. I wonder whatever happened to that Superchargers fan, Ms. Doe. I haven't seen her since she went on McAfee. Well, in the meantime, a handoff to Gus the Bus, whose engine stalls at the 22, or the 27, excuse me. Oh, my favorite team's, of course, the Cardinals. This is my Pat Tillman jersey that I wore when I met Senor Grusi as a part of his Pussy up in Seattle. In the meantime, Flowers gets a nice chunk of change after being mistackled by the Chargers. Oh, that's right. Flowers was at Notre. Flowers was in college. Okay, Gus the Bus gets the carry again and gets a fee more than the last time. But yeah, I grew up in Phoenix. Although the Cardinals didn't move to the Valley until late 87. So I rooted for a bunch of teams before that based on our geographical proximity to other places. So I rooted for the Chargers, the Niners, as there's another run that doesn't get much by Edwards. So the Chargers, the Niners, the Broncos. My parents were Southsiders from Chicago, so I rooted for the Bears and was a huge fan of Walter Payton. Shame Sweetness died too young. And then whoever beat the Cowboys in the playoffs, I would root for them too. Oh, there goes Justice Hill, and he gets into Chargers territory to about the 29. I root for the Eagles and the Redskins. And the Bucks. Again, orange is my favorite color, and I really love the Bucks uniforms. And they were the ultimate underdog after that 26 game losing streak to start out their history. Never got into the Rams for some reason. It didn't help that they beat the Bucks in '79 to get to the Super Bowl. So they lost the yard on that run. It's now 2nd 11 at the Chargers 30. Jackson back to pass, and he can't get it complete to Hill. Jackson was under pressure, that is. So, clock's winding down the play, but Jackson gets it off and can't complete it to OBJ. Just too far out of the way. Hey, it rhymed. I think we got a hit. So, Tucker's going to try and extend the lead to 10. Ugh. Come on. Yep, Tucker makes it. No big whoop. I forgot I ordered groceries tonight. And Tina is on her way. So I may have to I gotta mute it to make sure I can hear my grocery delivery lady knock on my door. I ordered them yesterday and wound up missing the driver because she came while I was still asleep. Or she arrived while I was still asleep. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what happened to Tillman. It's a hell of a way to die. It happened in Afghanistan. Considering he sacrificed to serve his country, what a way to go. Damn, this GPS of where the drivers are is pretty awesome. We're at a commercial break. I'll have to step away for a bit to get my groceries. I give you chair number 2. Hello, I'm here. Scooza-mooza. As the Chargers kick, or as the Ravens kick it off. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, relatively speaking.
Well, that's good.
Let me take this from the bottom. All right. All right.
This one and two.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
I just put riddles in all my stuff.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll make sure you get an extra tip for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You have a great night.
You too. All right. Sorry for the interruption. I got most of what I wanted. I got all of what I wanted. Figure it out later. Okay. Chargers have the ball. Ugh. Yeah, the Army wasn't forthcoming initially. They say he'd been killed by the enemy. It was quite the scandal. Ugh. Fortunately, our Senator McCain was really on the ball for trying to figure out what happened. Well, it appears they didn't miss anything since the Chargers went ahead and punted. And now we're back to commercial again. So. Oh, is that Kid in play? Damn, Kid doesn't look like a kid anymore. Okay. So whenever the next commercial breaks run around, I'll go ahead and put away the rest of my groceries. Sure you love knowing about that. Uh, I'm kind of surprised that a lot of states haven't regulated the self-service taxi movement that is Uber and Lyft. A lot of sketchy drivers out there. I managed to luck out once attending a concert here in Troutdale, watching Portugal the Man. My date had her smartphone and was able to get us a ride. We had walked down because the concert place we went to, it's just a mile away from where I live. We were able to walk down a hill next to a former Safeway onto the golf course, which was owned by the hotel company that also has this natural amphitheater to see shows on. But it was too dark to go up that hill again so late at night. So that's the only time I've used rideshare. It's taxis all the way for me because they're well regulated. And in the meantime, Mitchell makes a big run for the Ravens. I should be doing more of the play calling, but this is not a terribly interesting game for me. I'm just happy to have someone to chat with. And the Chargers can't seem to tackle worth a damn, especially on this play. Jackson under center. Oh, now he's in trouble, and he throws it out of bounds. Let's see if they. Yep, they dropped the flag. Probably the gentlest thrown flag ever. He just went. Yeah, intentional grounding. The thing about DC when I was living in the area, if I had to do anything around the capital, you could not get a cab to go deep into the southeast portion of the city because it was very crime ridden, full of gang activity. Sure, it was discrimination against the neighborhood, but cabbies were being in self preservation mode as Aguilar catches a pass from Jackson on the run. So I had to specify I was going around the capital area when I mentioned southeast. And then I was able to get a ride. There's this art gallery in the neighborhood surrounding Congress. Interesting. So the latest pass was incomplete. They hadn't gotten the first down when Aguilar caught it. And then the Cardinals catch a break because Asante Samuel Jr. bumps Flowers before Flowers can attempt to grab the pass. But they don't call pass interference. And now Harbaugh wants a timeout on 4th and inches. So it appears they might go for it. Yeah, the Ravens got robbed. So they're still winning the bad break department based on what happened during the first quarter to the Chargers. So a handoff to Gus the Bus, and he initially looked like he wasn't going to make it, but he made a second effort and got it. And we're almost halfway through the third. Murray Jr. made a good hit on him, but Edwards kept his balance and was able to dive for the first. Jackson now back to pass and facing pressure. He threw it to Bateman, but it was too low and incomplete. A shotgun. Fakes the handoff again. Gets it to Flowers, but he slipped and then gets sworn by Chargers defenders. He was better off just dropping that. He lost about 3 there. And OBJ's on the sidelines. Flowers did well to not go down when he slipped. So 3rd and 15. Jackson back to pass and got it to Aguilar, but he couldn't hang on to it. So it's 4th down. Was a bit behind Aguilar, the pass that is. And we have a punt. Fair caught by Davis at the 15. Oh, yeah, I gotta put my groceries away. Ugh. Okay, action's back. Herbert's back to pass. He gets it to Allen and gets a first down in the process. 6 minutes left in the 3rd. Kylie, I hope you're back. It seemed like you went away. Herbert's back to pass again. Gets it to Gerald Everett this time. So 2nd and 7. And now they're going no huddle. Herbert's doing an audible now. Back to pass. He does a running back screen to Eckler. And this time the blockers do their job and Eckler gets a first down. 76 and 68. Did a credible job of getting in front of the blocker. Okay, good, Kylie. Herbert's in the shotgun. Hands it off to... Oh, no, he fakes the handoff. That was pretty good. He faked me and the cameraman out. Got it to Keenan Allen. Still doing the hurry up. South Irvine, shouts Herbert for whatever reason. And now he's going to audible again. And gets it to Allen again, this time on a wide receiver screen. But he's going to be short. Third and 1 now. This time they huddle up. Ravens fans who are there appear to be chanting defense. Herbert's under time, but he fakes the handoff to Eckler and gets it. Oh, did he catch it? No, they say. Kyle Van Noy was able to tip it. Ugh. Chargers are going to go for it. It's at the 49 of the Chargers, so they better get this. Oh, it looks like he made it. Eckler got the handoff. Dived over the 50. Now, living in Oregon, I can't help but root for Herbert. He single-handedly revived the franchise. He did a backward pass to Keenan Allen, but unfortunately the Ravens were right on it, and he ended up losing yards. Okay, back to the hurry up. Herbert's back to pass. And no! Johnson had it, but had a Raven drape all over him, and now Johnson's slow to get up. It's an interesting admission, Kylie. Yeah, if you weren't there long, it might be hard to see all of the scenery of DC. And the security situation, particularly around the White House, has gotten tougher. Certain streets have been blocked off. $6 days. Okay. When you live in an area where there's a lot of stuff to see, you can kind of take it for granted. When I moved here to Portland, I had money from my house sale. So I was able to take some true time off and get a feel for the main sites. And I lived just off of downtown, right next to an inner city mall, which was actually in pretty good condition. It has its own skating rink. It's called the Lloyd Center. So I was able to do things I wouldn't normally do. Got to see the Rose Festival Parade, Veterans Day Parade, which ran right down another street I lived in the Hollywood district just east of downtown. Now I'm here out in Exurbia with no car, and it's a challenge to get anywhere important. Thinking about buying a scooter. I had a scooter when I lived in Phoenix the second time around. So at least it'd be quicker to get around. But in the meantime, back to the action, or not, because there's a flag on the play. This is usually where I indicate a false start. Yep. 64 did the cha-cha. James. Up 76. Never mind. So 3rd and 17. Herbert back to pass. Oh, he does it to Allen. Oh, this is interesting. They did a variation of the hook and ladder. And threw a backwards pass to Eckler. And he may have gotten a first down. It was close, though. But he stuck it out at the end. And now Baltimore's going to challenge it. Oh, Kylie, if you're asking if someone pops in there, you're really the first one to do that. They'll pop in to see me, but they won't pop in to chat. So, yeah, you're not using punctuation, so sometimes it's hard to tell if you're asking a question or not. So I appreciate the fact that you're sticking with me. Let's see. Still on commercial break. And now let's see here. Nice try, Harbaugh. Okay. So they did get a first down as a result. And Herbert's back to pass. Oh, and his pass goes through the hands of number 15. Okay, he's back to pass again. This time he completes it to Allen, who gets 9. Forgive me, I'm doing a wide search here. Okay, quick snap, and Eckler gets the handoff and gets the first down. Okay, off with the pass again, and Davis gets 2 yards out of it, and the quarter's almost over. Yeah, I've only had people chat when someone raids me, except for that one time, that one LA dude who I missed and said hello. At the moment, oops, the Chargers had a delay a game. Uh, One thing I like to do a lot is photography. That's my one of my hobbies. I was able to do that more when I wasn't working and just trying to enjoy myself while subsequently trying to write a book and do research on it. Fictional novel, that is. So now, the quarter is over. Now, where I live, there's a Move Fitness that's being built where the Safeway used to be. So hopefully I can get back to playing basketball and do swimming. When I grew up in Arizona, we had a pool where I swam a lot in. I'd like to be able to get some extra exercise, and I think that'd be the best way to do it. We have a pool at my apartment complex, but it's only open from Memorial Day till the end of September due to the weather, and it's an outside pool, and too many kids occupy it, so there's no room to actually swim. So sometime in the spring of 2024, that Move Fitness thing's gonna open up, provided I'm still in this apartment complex. I'm actually thinking about moving, uh, either back in town or maybe to Sacramento. I gotta deal with getting my ex neighbor's stuff back to him in Tucson. A story not worth repeating, unless you really want to know. I told you a little about regarding my TV. Uh, let's see. Yeah, I've put everything away as far as the groceries go. I used to do so much more when I was a kid. I imagine being in South Dakota, you've got a lot of wide open space you can go through. Here it's all trees. Not that that makes it a bad thing, but it does kind of obscure what you can see. All right, back to the action. 2nd and 13 for the Chargers. Herbert's back to pass, and he gets it to Allen again. And he gets Pierce to the 18 or the 17. Let's double check. Third and 3, it's officially on the 18 and a half. Okay. Herbert's in shotgun, back to pass. Gets it to Everett. Ooh, he got hit hard twice, but managed to hang on to the ball, and they really need to hang on to the ball. It's extremely important they hang on to the ball. And he was stopped at about the 12 or the 13. It's the 12 and a half. Herbert back to pass again. Does the running back screen again, but Baltimore got past the offensive lineman and snuffed it out really quick. Looking at the replay, they were on it, and the O lineman had no chance to adjust and protect Eckler. Loss of 4. Herbert's back to pass again and gets it to Kelly. And he manages to at least get to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down now. The Chargers can afford to hit a field goal as opposed to a touchdown at this moment, because Baltimore appears to have stalled offensively this half. Okay, I'll answer you in a minute, Kylie. Oh no, another fumble, and the Ravens recover. Herbert got sacked. Uh Clowney is the guilty party. Apparently remaking a name for himself in Baltimore. I think Pierce got The fumble recovery again. Nope, it was Clowney. He got both the strip sack and the fumble. So, it's unfortunate about your Omaha experience. I used to live in Fort Wayne, and I don't know if it counts as being in Tornado Alley, but there were still a lot of straight line winds you had to be concerned about. When I was living with my ex there, the screen that protected our patio on the second floor got torn off at least a half dozen different times. And rain was constantly getting onto our moving boxes after that. Seems the farther north you live, the bigger the wind gusts are. What and when you live just under the Rockies, it's particularly bad. I lived in Denver too, so I had experience with that as well. In Phoenix, it rarely ever got gusty. When I was growing up, there was occasionally fog, which was weird for a desert town. Oh, you got to see the zoo? Where, in Omaha or DC? Zoos are fun, although they've had a bad reputation as of late as places where animals shouldn't be taken to anymore. But the Portland Zoo has a Zoo Light Festival around Christmas time or just after Thanksgiving. I wondered about perhaps going to that this year. Should run through New Year's. Well, the Ravens have the ball again. Well, we're of all the times to have another turnover. So they're going to probably rely on the run, and they give it to Gus the Bus, and he gets about 5. There's still 12 minutes left in the quarter, but if Herbert's injured, they can ill afford to have Herbert be in trouble. Who the hell was that? That's his backup? Easton Stick? Where's Colin Kaepernick when you really need him? Okay, Omaha Zoo. Does Warren Buffett still live in Omaha? They call him the Omaha Oracle. So the Chargers batted down Jackson's pass. It's 3rd and 5 now. They might be able to prevent Baltimore from capitalizing on this turnover. Jackson's in shotgun. Likely's in motion. Jackson gets a snap. Back to pass. Mack is trying to pursue him. And now Jackson with the long pass, but Flowers couldn't hang on to it. So, nice stop by the Chargers. So, Ravens will be forced to punt. Speaking of Warren Buffett, I love his 50-50 initiative where he's going to donate half of his money to worthy causes along with Bill Gates and Peter Rubenstein. I ever win the lottery, that's what I'll do. In the meantime, the Ravens get their punt off. Davis gets it at the 17 and tries to run away from the pressure. And he's got some room down the sideline, but he's forced out at the 35 or maybe the 40. Let's double check. And some kerfluffling going on again. Herbert's out of the blue tent. He may actually be able to get back in the game. Let's see. We're at commercial, obviously. And let's see. NBC's really pushing their Christmas lineup hard. Ooh, the Packers and the Chiefs on Sunday night. You know who's going to be very interested in that game, I can tell you that. Oh, that's not fun. I had the opposite problem in Phoenix. The AC went out in my house, and the temperature went up 9 degrees. So it was in the mid 80s. Okay. Herbert managed to complete a pass, and now he's running for a first, and he make it all the way! Oh my goodness! What a run! That'll get your attention. And a Raven may have gotten the worst of it. Nice block by Guyton on the wide receiver number 15. And Queen made the tackle, but he wound up hurt. Oh, the back of Herbert's foot hit Queen flush in the face mask. But I can imagine when the heater breaks, it can be tough living up in the north. So I'm sorry that had to happen to you. So Herbert got to the 18 of the Ravens. He's in shotgun, hands it off to Eckler, who hangs on to it, thank goodness. Gets up to the 12. Ten minutes left. Herbert's back to pass. Gets it to Eckler, who gets the first down and gets to the 5, so it'll be first and goal. Now you're describing Arizona-like weather. I worked outside of a car wash one summer in college. The record was set when I was working at 122. There's a reason you want to wear baseball caps during that time. Eckler gets another handoff, and he gets about the 3.5. Be a gain of 2. Yeah, Portland got 116 in 21. I had just moved into this complex 9 months before. I really had to work the AC, but then it started leaking on me. So I couldn't run it 100% all the time. Herbert's back to pass. Passes it. Tries to get to Guyton, but it's too far away. Fortunately, at least for summer's sake, I live on the first floor. And I'm well shielded from the sun most of the time. So it doesn't get too hot in here. First apartment I lived in faced west, was on the 3rd floor. There was no shade at all. And my AC was one of those up. Hold that thought for a minute. The Chargers get a touchdown. Gerald Everett. And it's now 13-9. Big bulky wide receiver bodied the Raven defender away and managed to bowl him over into the end zone. That was 32. Williams. Extra point is snapped. The kick is away. It's good. So, yeah, when I was living near Lloyd Center, I had one of those hotel-like AC units for the living room only. Both of my bedrooms had nothing, only heaters, independent heaters. So I was really sweating bullets. And I learned my lesson. Now, my apartment here faces northwest, but again, it's a first floor apartment, and there's another apartment building right in front of me, so that by the time 6 p.m. rolls around, the sun is briefly blocked from my patio door. It then maneuvers around that building to get in, but I've still got at least AC, a very modern unit to work. Although I still need a separate fan to move the cool air into my bedroom. If I were to move to Sacramento, I'd at least probably have an a combination AC heating unit, because Sacramento is more likely to get 100 degrees every day in the summer. So, what are they showcasing in LA? Oh, it's Inglewood. Hmm. So you got to have Thanksgiving dinner 2 days in a row, a pre-Thanksgiving and then an actual Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah. I worked Thanksgiving night, and I spent most of the actual Thanksgiving day sleeping in. So for the most part, I missed the Lions being upset. Uh, and Dallas beating the Redskins. I didn't watch much of the night game either. Well, the Ravens are trying to make sure they can pad their lead, and Edwards gets the pass from Jackson with 8:20 left, and he gets the first down. Counting down to 8 minutes. First down on the Ravens 36. And it's another handoff to Edwards, who gets about 5 or 6. So 2nd and 5 officially. And we're halfway through the quarter. So we're down a home stretch. Mitchell in the backfield behind Jackson, and he gets the handoff, and he gets the first down, and then some. Well, the Ravens making their running game pay off. Did a nice job of being patient and waiting for the holes to open up. And a great job of blocking by everyone on the Ravens team. You really want to earn your keep as a wide receiver. Block for your running backs. Jackson's in shotgun again. Oh, now we have it's late, but they finally got the false start on Stanley. And that was patently obvious. But the whistle didn't seem to blow until about 3 seconds after the snap. Ugh. They're showing the Ravens' remaining schedule, and it's looking to be a tough one. They got a bye next week, though, so they'll have time to plan for all those teams. Empty backfield for Jackson. He's back to pass. He quickly gets it off to Flowers. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Okay, Jackson back to pass again from shotgun, but he's under pressure, and he gets it off to Mitchell, who gets first down. And is down at the 35. Clock's winding down. Jackson's in shotgun again. Hands it off again. No, he faked it. Did a good job of faking it, but he only got a yard. Only 5 minutes left now. Okay, Jackson's under center now, and he hands it off to Mitchell, who tried to stiff arm his way first down, but pulled down before he got there. And time keeps ticking. Well, Kylie, here's the thing. They already traded it away when they traded up to get it from Chicago to get Bryce Young. So Chicago actually has Carolina's #1 pick. The Bears are sitting pretty. I don't know if Carolina has any other first-round picks, but I'd forgotten about that in thinking about the Tank Bowl. So they didn't get the first down on that run attempt, and Tucker is out there, which he should have been in other plays when they had a fourth down. So clock winding down to nearly 3 minutes left. Oh, is he going to miss it? He missed it! Oh, my goodness. Oh, this is stunning. Was it tipped? That's the only thing I could think of. No, he just hooked it. Wow. Oh, this would be. The worm has turned. I don't know where that phrase came from, but it's oddly appropriate. Oh, I thought this game was all over. And now the Chargers have a chance to get a comeback win. I don't know if it would be for the ages, but in their very brief history as an LA Charger team, it would be huge. So Herbert's in shotgun, and the ball's at the 34. He hands it off to Eckler, but the defense is ready for it. So this time the Chargers have all 3 timeouts. There's an injury, though, and it's a Raven, one of the D-line members. Looks like his foot slipped a little when he planted it. Well, that's a good point. You can't say that the Broncos Bears game was a tank bowl anymore because they're now 6-5. In the meantime, Herbert gets a pass off to 82 Erickson, who manages to keep both his feet in bounds, and he gets a first down. Herbert's back to pass again, but he throws it to nobody in particular. He may have tried one of those timing routes, but no one was in the vicinity. So with the Bears and the Panthers owning each other's picks, they both would have wanted to win that game so they could get a better position when the other team loses. Very perverse. Herbert's back to pass again. Guyton hangs on to it, but loses his shoe. And a 2-minute warning's coming up. At any rate, I'm not a fan of the perceived tank to try and get a better draft pick. I'm looking at the playoff picture now for the AFC. There are 4 teams at 8-3, so the AFC is becoming something of a bloodbath. If the Chargers lose, they might still somehow be in the hunt. Though they'd rather have the win and be more in the hunt, obviously. Certainly it would help get past the Raiders. And they haven't gone to commercial break. Harbaugh appears animated for some reason talking to partial crew of refs. So it's 3rd and 6. And it is on the Ravens 46. Herbert's in shotgun. Oh, did we have a... I thought there was another false start, but no whistle again. But it's a moot point because Eckler couldn't hold on to the pass. So 1:57 left to go, and this is going to be potentially the game if they can't make it. Allen's in motion. Herbert's in shotgun. Eckler's to his right. Back to pass and pressure. Oh! They ran the blitz and Millette got him. He got Herbert got the pass off, but it was a wobbler and Well, the Chargers still have 3 of their timeouts. If they can hold the Ravens. Oh, they called Herbert for intentional grounding. Ugh. Okay. Now, they play 17 games, so unless one of their games gets canceled, the Steelers aren't going to have a 10-6 record. Hate to be all Edwin Newman on you when it comes to the facts. See, they're 7-4 now. In the meantime, Jackson takes it himself. And Chargers, of course, call a timeout. They got about 5 yards out of it. I'm really not into predicting what season records are going to be myself. So much weird stuff happens, it's impossible to tell. Although, Tomlin just needs 2 more wins to stay above 500 for his career. I'd have to look at what their schedule's like to see what their chances are of having that. And I will do that right now because Baltimore is going to take its sweet time to get up to the line of scrimmage. And there's a T formation actually in the backfield. Jackson eventually keeps it himself, though. And gets more out of it, but it's not a first down. Okay, where did Pittsburgh go? We see the Chargers' remaining schedule. Aside from the Patriots, they're going to be in a dogfight facing other teams. They face the Broncos twice, the Raiders once, the Chiefs once, the Bills once. Yeah, that's not easy, especially with the any given Sunday rule. We should go to the schedule, team schedules. Well, 3rd and 3. Jackson actually hands it off to this time for a receiver. That was Flowers, and he gets a touchdown. And is he going to do the bouquet throw again? No. Oh, he does a soccer kick. You gotta admit that was a good one. Boy, they had the Chargers fooled on that one. Let's see if Tucker can make the extra point at least. Yes, he can. So that ought to do it. Oh, yeah, the Steelers are going to play my Cardinals next Sunday. And it's going to be in Pittsburgh. They face the Patriots in Pittsburgh after that. Then they go on the road to face the Colts, or at home against the Bengals, on the road against the Seahawks, and then close it against the Ravens. So yeah, they have a good shot at winning 9 before. They may be able to get those 9 wins in just the next 2 weeks. The Patriots game is going to be on a Thursday. So we have a kickoff by Tucker, which is going to be a touchback. Okay, 10-7 or 11-6. So yeah, it probably is game. But they still. Herbert gets it to Allen, who gets near to midfield. It's 1:30 left, and they'll do the hurry up thing. Herbert's in shotgun. Back to pass. The blitz is on. And incomplete. Off the hands of Allen. Too high for him. Either that or he didn't stretch high enough. At times, I think receivers, if they just put in a smidge more effort in reaching for balls that are thrown to them, they'd catch them more. But they seem to always come up short. Okay, Herbert back to pass yet again. And he is dropped by Washington. 3rd down, the clock is running. Herbert's still trying to make something of it. But it's 3rd and 19. Herbert back to pass. And nothing. Officially under a minute left. Boy, that right elbow of his is really bloodied. Okay. Another incompletion. That ought to do it. And that's going to do it for me. Kylie, I appreciate you sticking with me through all of the game. I wish you and yours the best, whoever they are. Glad you had a good Thanksgiving and then some. And I don't know if you would call this the Chargers chargering, because they didn't. Their only lead was 3-0, but oh well, what the hell. And as I end every stream with, bye bye, bye bonds.